welcome to Real Estate Raw and Uncut, episode 33. I'm Byron Lazine, joined by Tim Bray. As always, we hope you're doing well. Last week I was feeling frisky.
You really don't care.
No, I really actually do. The people that are giving us those few views we have, I really care. Everybody else that's not watching, I don't care how they're doing, of course. But last week I was feeling frisky. I'm feeling just salty today with
Taxes?
I got to see the TaxMan. Anybody that's, a real estate agent, tax day is right around the corner. Or if you're a personal contractor,
Didn't shower?
Whatever.
You said salty.
Yeah, I didn't shower because we're talking about land today, so I figured that was fitting. No, I'm just feeling salty about the whole thing. Seeing the TaxMan, not really, not pumped about that.
Not feeling it.
Not feeling it.
I'm feeling it. Let's get this done.
All right, good. Well, you're gonna bring the energy. We're gonna keep it short. I still got a couple receipts to add up, and
One of them's big.
Yeah, I know. We'll get the show on the road. This week, we want to talk about land use, specifically Public Act 490, getting real serious here, Public Act 490, and how it pertains to property owners that have big acreage properties.
And I think it's so important to so many landowners across the country. And this law came into existence in the 1960s. And there is no minimum amount of acreage that you need in the state of Connecticut. But most towns are saying that you need 25
That's
acres.
the average, right?
Or
25.
more. And the purpose for this, think about it. If you had land that's open space, if it's designated forestry, or maybe farmland, and it was assessed at its highest market value or highest and best use, which is probably not forestry or open land, it would be, a subdivision or, commercial. And your assessment's going to be so darn high that the farmer or the landowner that's carried it for years can no longer afford to keep it, and they'd have to sell it. So this is really allowing those people to hold on to that land.
Yeah, and as opposed to paying exorbitant taxes. What if you weren't actually, you had 40, 50, 60 acres, but you weren't actually physically farming it? However, is that
Still open space.
Is that how you farm? Is that a farming move?
It would be if you had hay, or you're shoveling a little something else.
Something else, all right. So you don't have to be physically have a working farm
Correct.
to put your land in Public Act 490.
That's correct.
You just have to have the acreage in order to do it, right?
Some towns have, it depends. The acreage depends, but you do need to apply for this. You need to go through forestry first.
Does that mean you need a friend in the town?
No, it helps. Definitely helps. But you need to go through forestry first.
Okay.
And then after that, now you need to go through the assessor at the town. You need to apply for it. And I believe it was in Connecticut. It's between September 1st and October 31st of each year.
Okay.
The issue, some people will do this.
You get a 2-month span to do it?
That's when the application has to be put in.
Does the forestry division go on vacation the other 10 months? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, they're out fighting forest fires, and they're heading to Northwoods Law.
They're doing stuff?
Absolutely.
All right.
So, basically, what you need to do with this thing is I'm going to get back to what I've seen people do. People that have not designated their land in forestry or PA 490 have wanted to sell their properties, and they can't because the taxes are so high. So they say, okay, hold on, there's this law. Let me change it over into forestry and lower the taxes.
But there's a catch there, right? You can't just lower the taxes now and say, okay, my taxes just went from $15,000 a year to $2,000 a year. Now I'm going to sell this property, and the buyer is going to get that benefit. It doesn't work that way.
The
right?
ramification is, you are hit when you sell the property.
Right.
So you're hit with a tax, and sometimes, especially within 10 years.
Right.
So, for example, if you sold in the first year, you may be hit with 10% of the sale price. Second year, you may be hit 9%, and then it starts going down with the years.
But that's why, like here in Connecticut, one of the questions that we always ask if we're talking somebody that owns large acreage that has put it into forestry or this act, we say, hey, how many years are left on that so we can kind of figure out what that hit's going to be should they sell in that coming year.
When did you put it in the PA 490?
Right.
And they kind of look at you cross-eyed. And they probably signed off on it when they first did it, but they've, since forgotten.
Well, it was long enough ago. I'm going to put my straw back in here.
That's not a straw, by the way.
It was long enough ago, so we should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's a great law, and I think it's a great thing to conserve our
Yeah.
land. And it's a great thing as far as taxes go, and to keep these things in these families, keep
Yeah.
the land open space.
Absolutely.
But
So
you got to do it right.
I know there's people watching right now.
It is
It's pouring.
raining.
Can you hear? I don't know if they can hear that, but it is pouring
April
right
showers.
now. Yeah, a little bit of showers. I know where people are going to start thinking. They're going to say, well, if they're getting the tax benefit, the town's going to lose money, right?
That's what
Because
most people
because
think.
somebody's taxes just went from 20,000 to 5,000
You
or
still have
whatever
the
the
grand
case
list.
is. Right. So how is the town making up the money? Are they going to pull it from the other property owners? You know, little mom and pop just trying to raise a family in a single family home. Are they just getting hit because of this?
What do you think? I say no, they're definitely not.
No, they're not. Well, I mean, you would think common sense says yes.
It's such a small fraction,
Right.
you know.
And in reality, if you go on and read like this report about Public Act 490, they're actually kind of taking a big tax burden off of these towns because these property owners, again, wouldn't be able to afford those taxes. That land would have to be taken over by the town. Now they're maintaining farmland as a town. That's going to be much more expensive than missing out a small percentage
And you're also
of
keeping
tax revenue.
You're also keeping the landscape.
Right.
That's what's appealing about a lot of these towns, especially in New England, out west.
Yeah.
You know, the open space.
That's right.
That's the appeal.
Absolutely.
So
So it's a benefit. It's a benefit if you own big acreage. Look into it. Public Act 490. If you got like really big questions about it, email this guy, tbray@seaportre.com. He'd be happy to answer
you're so nice.
every
Thank
single
you.
one of
Feeling
your
the love.
questions. If you guys want to connect with me, just find me on social media.
If you want to sell something, just call this guy, right?
Find me on social, Instagram @ByronLazine. Thanks. We want to thank you guys again for joining us every single Friday. We're going to continue to drop a new topic every Friday. And if you've got something you want us to talk about, get into these comments. If you're watching on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, wherever you are, get into the comments, ask us questions, and we will talk about that on an upcoming episode. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. See you next Friday. Is it? I'll go right here on my little YouTube app and find out.
That's it. What you got hanging from your mouth?
That's Starbucks.
It's nice. It's a nice touch.
You like that?
No shaving today. Starbucks thing jutting out of your summer teeth.
Well, I thought we were talking about land, so
Farmer, you wear the
Well,
overalls.
It's like my straw, you know? My piece of hay. $33.
Episode 33.
All right, cool.